Hello, my name is Natasha Sparkman. I teach at Beaver Creek Elementary in Knott County, and up until now, I've always been fourth grade, whether subbing, teaching. It's just been my thing. This year, we are departmentalized with third and fourth grade. So, like every teacher, every summer, we think about how am I going to redesign my classroom? How am I going to engage my students and actually give them the want to come to my classroom, to be excited to learn? So last year I was privileged enough to come here in the spring and present with our librarian who is over our yearbook. And that's when I heard all these amazing ideas about flexible seating. And I went back to my classroom and there they sat, the boring, non-traditional, the traditional hard seats that we've all sat in. We all get numb in. Even I, as a teacher, I don't want to sit in those all day. So I thought, what could I do to revamp my classroom for next year? Because by the time, of course, I got back, it was too late. So I started being Joanna Gaines and going yard selling. And I started picking up crates and rugs and pillows and old bean bags and saucer chairs. And I had my mom, my mother-in-law, everybody in my family yard selling. Because I was going to reinvent my classroom. And then it dawned on me, why have you not applied for the grant? So I sat down, and that's when I come up with, okay, I'm going to be Joanna Gaines of Beaver Elementary, and I'm going to redesign or fix up my classroom. And that's what I did. But then I thought, no, this isn't Natasha Sparkman's world. This is third and fourth grade's world. And that's when I started thinking, what can I do to incorporate my children, my students, into this idea? And so I went back to the drawing board, first day of school. And we did a little survey, and of course I had already started the grant. I hadn't submitted it yet because I wanted their input. And I said, okay, third and fourth graders, what would you like to see in Miss Sparkman's reading language arts classroom? Immediately, we want those wobble balls or them stools that Miss Alicia's got over there in math class. And I said, okay, why? And that's when we started incorporating our standards. We started researching. I wanted their opinions. I wanted 3 reasons why they thought that was the best fit for them. Now, we're talking about third and fourth graders who are below grade level. A lot of my students have ADHD, and they struggle with that daily. A lot of them diagnosed, a lot of them should be. And so I wanted to create a classroom, an atmosphere that would give them the opportunity to be in a seat to where they could move without distracting the rest of my students. And so that's what we did. Now, have I gotten all of my supplies yet? No, some of it is in the process of being shipped. But here are some pictures of what I have been lucky enough to receive this far. We have standing desks. Now, when I first came up with that idea with the help of my students, I thought this will never work. I can see little Joey now in the corner turning it over, wheeling it around, acting like it's a Hot Wheels car through the classroom. I am amazed at how wonderful this is going. They go to these, they stand, thank goodness the wheels do lock, and they stay right there. They love the fact that they don't have to sit in a chair, and I'm amazed by that. Especially my boys go toward that more than my females. Another option that we have is the balance pods. Now, as you see, I still do have some traditional desks because, let's face it, there are students who don't want to sit on a wobble chair all day. They don't want to sit on a bouncy ball all day. They like the traditional seating. So I did keep 4 of those in my class, but I gave it a little twist. I gave a balance pod to these students. And if they choose to use the balance pod, that's the great thing about this, is they choose where they sit, they choose what they use. And if they choose the balance pod, then they're allowed to sit there just like they would on a yoga ball and move. And it does not disrupt anyone. And I love it. Love, love, love it. Another thing that we have been fortunate enough to receive this far is the wobble stools. I went with the lower ones just because my students and I are always, seems like, on the floor, on the bean bags. I get right down there with them, and we do groups. I do a lot of group work in my reading class. So they love this because it kind of reminds them of being low on the floor. And then we have more things coming. We have a huge carpet that's in the process of being shipped. I'm really excited about that because, again, we're always in the floor. I do a lot of activities in groups. We also have the pods that will sit on the carpet to where they're not just on the hard floor. So I'm excited about that. And something I brought to share with you guys, if you want to pass them around, I'll put them up here, is just a summary of my project and my grant. It goes over my objectives. Of course, my main objective is student engagement. Something I strive really hard on is behavior management in my class. I feel like it's something that I'm proficient with. I don't have a lot of disruptions, but providing this opportunity for my students has elevated that. Very rarely do I have to go give a negative dojo. Dojo is something that we use in our classrooms to promote positive behavior with technology. Parents are able to log in, and I incorporate that with my seating. One of the things that they can receive a dojo with is the use of proper seating. If they're seating properly, if they're using it correctly, then they automatically go up and give themselves a dojo, and it's something they can monitor as well as their parents. So that's exciting for them. The main thing that my whole focus was on is how can I redesign my classroom, not just to look pretty and do the whole country farmhouse theme, but to also provide students with the opportunity to become involved in the learning environment that they're in. How could I do this? How could I give them the choice of where they sit and how they learn? And of course, we can all create our wonderful lessons and design activities to where students are engaged and they're in charge, and that's great. That's wonderful. That's what we want. But it all starts with our environment. If we don't have a great, positive environment, then where do we go from there? And I just felt like the traditional row of seats was becoming boring, not just for the students, but for me. And I love an open floor plan. I love that we are now able to move around, we're able to interact, and we don't have to worry about the scooting of the seats because now we have options. Just like I said, Joey in the corner with the standing desk, I keep those kind of in the corners of my room. He now has the option, if he don't feel like standing, he can go sit on a balance pod. He can go sit on a yoga ball. And it's working so wonderfully, and I'm excited to get the rest of my items to see how students become engaged with those and to only go up from here. We're striving really hard to be a proficient class, not just a school, but really I want my fourth graders to be on fourth grade level. Like I said, we're below level, and I feel like now that they're excited and I hear things like, Miss Sparkman, I can't wait to get in your room today. And it's not just because, oh, I get to sit on the yoga ball. It's because they're comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you listen. You're not worried about scooting around in your seat and, bugging someone beside of you because you are comfortable. You're able to engage. So that's pretty well what I've got. I'm excited for the spring. I'm hoping to bring some students back with me so that they can demonstrate and tell you all the wonderful things happening in our fourth grade and third grade ELA class. Does anyone have any questions? No, because I have hard surfaces. The wobble stools are at desk. We have lap desks that have the hard surface, so no. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big textbook person. We do, of course, use them, but no, I don't teach with them every day. So as we use them, they get them out, they put them back. I'm OCD with organization, so that's not a problem. Yeah, I like to run like a clock. Anything else? All right, thank you.